What is up, guys? So I brought up in my previous video, I was like, hey, I've got story times that I could do because I've stolen 2 trucks. Don't worry, I think the statute of limitations has already ran out. It was a while ago. So this video is gonna be about the first truck I stole. If you want me to make a video on the second one, which is much worse because a lot of crimes were committed, this first one is like buddies together, and it's kind of funny, but I stole a friend's dad's truck, put all of us together, and I was the designated driver, so basically the designated
vehicle thief.
The other story is like really illegal and bad and probably shouldn't go on YouTube. But story times are great. People love those. And like I said, I was 15 at the time, but the other one is pretty bad. But hey, YouTube content, I'm telling you, man, I was an outlaw. So the first one, I said I wasn't going to use names, but might as well. Y'all don't know who these people are. So me and my best friend Kyle live in the same town. Ain't got nothing to do one day. Kyle's parents were leaving, so what me and Kyle would do was wait until his parents left, and they would go do stuff all the time, go run the roads, go to Houston, out to eat, busy for the day, those kind of things. Well, we knew that. I mean, of course, we wasn't gonna tell nobody that, you know, like if his dad come in and was like, all right, boys, we're gonna go run and do this today, we're gonna go to the trade days, or whatever they wanted to do. You know, me and Kyle were like, oh, cool, yeah, we're gonna sit here and watch this movie and then maybe play some video games, and I don't know what we'll do after that. Oh, we knew what we were doing after that. We just weren't telling Kyle's parents. We had like a full plan lined out in the bedroom. I'm talking like door closed and locked, paper on the bed, pens in both hands. We knew what time we were leaving, what law we were gonna break, what to do if the law got involved. Trust me, we had plan A, B, C, D, E, all the way to Z. If anything went wrong, we had a way out. Anyways, this particular day, Kyle's family leaves. So across the road was one of our other friends named Landon. And when I say across the road, it was like we would cross the highway and then you would walk, because we would usually walk over there because we were 15, 16 years old. We would walk over there, and it would be probably about a 6-7 minute walk for us, but a 2-minute drive. We'll go to Landon's dad's house because Landon was at his dad's house that week, obviously, because we were kids. And we didn't know what to do, so this started with a bunch of firecrackers that Landon had, and we're like, well, what are we going to do with these firecrackers? Well, me, as a 15-year-old genius, I'm like,
well, there's a peaceful trailer park right here, and it's also full of a bunch of white supremacists that like to threaten people, pull guns on people. What I think we should do is get these fireworks, light them, and throw them in the trailer park.
Now, of course, you'd be like, well, you shouldn't do that. That's completely wrong. And I agree with you. It is wrong, and I shouldn't do it. But Landon had the nerve to look at me and say,
I bet you won't.
So what did I do? I put the fireworks back in the box, and I was like, we're going to be good people today. We're going to be good people. Nope. Far, far, far from the truth. So I walk up to Landon, grab the firework, get the long lighter, light it, throw it over, and then just yell a bunch of crazy stuff. So we run, hide behind the house, and we're listening because the fence from the house is, not but 10, 15 yards. I mean, his house was literally like butted up to a trailer park. These people start yelling. You can hear people going crazy. So whenever the yelling stops and it feels like the commotion has died down, I'm like, man, that was an adrenaline rush. I need to get it back up. So he's got more fireworks, but they were like bomb type fireworks to where like you would light them and they would boom, and like if they were on the ground, they'd blow a hole in the freaking ground. So me, once again, as a genius, I'm like, hey, give me those that you said had a lot of power. So I take 2 of them at the same time, put them in my palm, light both of them, and then just throw them over the fence, and I hear one of them ding off somebody's roof. Next thing I know, about blow a hole in some dude's roof. Then you can hear people walking along the fence. People's got guns. They're running around the trailer park because they think it's coming from inside the trailer park, like somebody's messing with them. So they're literally patrolling. So we didn't want to go to Landon's dad's house and like run inside and hide and be bunkered up. So there's a bunch of weeds next to the house. So me, Kyle, and Landon ran into the woods and just laid flat in the weeds while cars drove by and people were trying to look around because we were like, we don't want to be in the house. So they knock on the door. Nobody's gonna answer because ain't nobody in that thing. Anyways, that happens. All the commotion dies down, and we're sitting there and like all gassed up about what just happened. And it's like, oh man, we gotta do something more crazy. So Landon's dad works in the plant, and he was working nights. So at 4 o'clock, he was not there. He was already at work. But his truck was there. Landon's dad had like 3 vehicles, and he was taking the car they had. So he's got this blue Chevy. It's a 2013 Texas Edition blue Chevrolet truck. And I'm like, man, what if we just went back road? And like, as a joke, I said it as a joke. This was not intentional. I didn't plan on doing this. And then Landon, once again.
Yeah, his keys are on the microwave, but I bet you wouldn't take them.
Bet I will.
Next thing I know, Landon runs in his house. He's like, I'll be right back. Comes right back out with the keys, and we're standing at the door. He unlocks it. I remember this vividly, standing in the doorway. I had just got my, learner's permits. It was like a paper copy of a learner's permit. I was 15 years old. And we're sitting there, Landon's on one side of the door, Kyle's on the other side, and we keep talking about it, and we're like, trying to talk ourselves out of it. But my ego was so big, and I was that friend that if you gas me up, I'll do anything. So I was already like, man, just because you hinted about it, no, I gotta do it. So trust me, Landon left out some very key information to why the truck was still there, but we'll get to that. This is so bad. We start communicating about who's gonna drive, and Landon doesn't want to drive, and Kyle doesn't want to drive. But now we're all three set on the fact that we gotta steal the truck. We all wanted to go drift around the corners because we lived off of a dirt road. It was just dirt and rocks, and you could slide anywhere, so we just wanted to go drift. Like I said, we were way too far into it to back out. Anyways, we all load up in the truck. Landon gets in the passenger seat. Kyle gets in the back. We start the truck. Everything sounds good. I'm like, let's do it, bro. Throw it in reverse, roll out the driveway, slam it and drive, and just took off and let it eat. And I know this is not right. I'm not trying to get anybody's approval for this. This is completely wrong. This never should have happened. So here I go, letting it eat, showing off down the road, drifting around corners, almost stuck the truck in a ditch at a nature trail, like a little nature preserve. I cut the corner, rooster tail it all around, almost hit the ditch, correct the steering, and go into like the parking lot. It's a big gravel parking lot for where you park and then go walk the nature trail that's like 30 miles long or something. And I'm doing donuts in it, almost hit the ditch again, so I correct and get back on the road, and we're just drifting and doing like 60, 70 miles an hour down this narrow little dirt road and drifted on every corner. Absolutely could have died, 100%, undoubtedly. During this process, we go like we're about to go back to the house, and before we hit the driveway, I didn't pull in. I stopped, and I was like, man, let's take one more little spin in it. Let's go do that one more time. Now, keep in mind, like, the first initial, drive we took in it, I mean, we left the house and just played around in the truck for 10 full minutes. So we're thinking let's do one more little 10-minute segment. It won't hurt nothing. Yeah, that's what we thought. So I fly down to the end of the road where the nature preserve is. I'm like, man, I'm gonna hit me one more rooster tail. I gotta let it eat one more time. So I did, almost hit the ditch again. Like I said, 15-year-old idiot, bro. I spin the truck around, go to haul dude, I'm hauling tail down the road, 50, 60 miles an hour. Next thing I know, the truck dies. I look down at the gauge, I'm in drive, it's still rolling, and I got nothing. So I pop it in neutral, let it roll, get off to the side in a ditch, and I'm like, bro, what the heck happened? Put the foot on the brake, throw the gear shifter in park, go to start the truck starts, go to put it in drive, and the truck dies again.
Oh, bro. Bro, we're dead. We are dead. Dead. Cemetery dead.
Keep in mind, Landon is a big guy. Landon's dad is a bigger guy. Landon's dad is 6'5", and he's lost weight now, but he was 400 pounds at this time. Landon's dad was a massive man. This was not the man that you wanted to piss off for any reason whatsoever. And then here we are, a mile and a half from the house in his truck that we stole, hot rodding it, dead, on the side of the road. Just three of us, all under the age of 16. Yeah, we were sweating bullets. That was not funny in the moment at all. Finally, I get the truck to start and actually hold and idle to where the RPMs were actually idling where they were supposed to be. I slammed it down in drive and punched the gas. I didn't want to give it any chance to die again. And on the grace of God, this thing made it home. But where I messed up, I didn't hit the driveway. I was so worried about the truck dying. His house would come up on this hill up the grass, and you could get to the driveway that way. I skipped the driveway because the hill was before, and we jumped the hill in the truck running through the yard. That's where I made a mistake. It had rained, and the grass was wet. So all I did in this four-wheel drive crew cab Chevrolet was leave tire marks all through the yard, obviously showing that the truck had been moved. And to think that we thought we were smart by going back out to the road because it was a dirt road with rocks and kicking all the stuff on the ground because I'd spun out when we left the driveway. I know a genius. I spun out literally in front of the driveway. I mean, we tried to put it exactly in the exact spot it was when we found it. I was out there with a measuring tape and goggles, and I'm like, was this rock here when we parked it? Was this one? What about this pebble? I only take the keys out. Landon runs them inside. First mistake, Landon did not put the keys back where he found them. He put them on the bar instead of back on the microwave. I know. And when Landon comes out, me and Kyle get out of the truck. We're like, dude, that was crazy. I don't know what happened. Landon comes up to us, and I'm like, dude, what was up with the truck? And he's like, I don't know, Dad said something about he parked it there and didn't take it to work because of the fuel pump. Brother! You couldn't tell me the fuel pump was out before we stole it and took it several miles from home? Yeah, I know, didn't think anything through. Needless to say, Kyle's parents come home, we go home, play it like it's cool, don't say nothing to nobody. About 2 weeks passed, maybe a month, I don't know. It was a good while after it happened. And then I remember Kyle coming to me and being like, hey man, Landon's dad knows. And I'm like, Landon's dad knows what? Bro, he knows we stole the truck. He noticed that the keys were moved and the driveway and the grass, and then confronted Landon, and Landon admitted. We never got in trouble. He never said anything to us, or he might have. I think when I was around it one more time, he might have said like, oh, yeah, he did. We'd come over there one day to go watch Landon play Grand Theft Auto, and his dad was home. And I had walked into the house not knowing his dad was home. And I remember me and Kyle come in, and Landon's dad goes,
So I heard y'all boys had fun.
yeah, I was not about to own up to nothing, so I was just agreeing with whatever he said. Trust me, this is not a man you disagree with. Trust me on that. We got away with doing something completely irresponsible, but that's it. If y'all want to know the first one, like I said, it's a pretty bad one, and it's really illegal, and I did some terrible things in the process, and 100% could have got legally shot. But if y'all want to know it, let me know. See y'all later.